guys, it's Ali and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to show you some books to read that are actually banned, and I'm going to cover 13 banned books over India and abroad as well. And of them I've read like 7 or 8 books, but the rest I haven't, but I'm still including them because these are on my TBR pile and I'll eventually definitely be reading them. So yeah, this video covers 13 amazing banned books to read. And the thing is, there's a guilty pleasure in reading banned books, isn't it? And in case you don't know, sometimes books are banned on several grounds, especially religious grounds, on grounds of violence, and if there are any obscene sexual scenes in the book. And these are mainly the primary reasons of book ban. There are several minor reasons too, but these are the major reasons that get several books banned. And there have been many books that have been banned over the age, but these 13 books, according to me, are the best among the banned books. And even though I have not read 5 of them, I really think that I'm gonna like them with my reading taste. But let's see. The very first book that I had picked up among the banned books was Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, and it is the tale of a pedophile. A pedophile is a person who is in love with someone much younger than him. So the protagonist in this story loved a girl when he was 12 and the girl was 12 too. Now that girl died. When he grows up and now he's like 30 or 40, he falls for another 12-year-old girl. And the thing is, this girl's name is Lolita, but her real name is not Lolita. Her real name is actually Dolores, but he calls her Lolita because he really loves naming her this name. And the very first line of this book is really memorable. Lolita, the light of my life, the fire in my loins. I can never ever forget this line in my life. This was so gripping. And in case you didn't know, Vladimir Nabokov himself stopped writing this novel at a certain point of time because he was getting very uncomfortable, but then his wife convinced him to write it, and now it is one of the most famous novels of all time, and definitely it's one of my favorites too. And I am pretty sure that in case you are uncomfortable with these things like pedophilic things, then you may abstain from reading this book. But in case you aren't, you are in for a treat because this book was really awesome. The second book that is a banned book that I read was To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and this book is about a lawyer called Atticus Finch who's fighting against a woman who claims that she has been raped by a black man, and that case is not true. The thing is, this book is totally about loss of innocence and realizing how cruel the adult world is. The thing is, it was banned because, I guess, because of racism, and there are some sexual scenes in this book that are not really preferable for a certain age group, but this book is a must read for everyone. It is a favorite of several people, and even though I wouldn't call it a hot favorite of mine, I really think that this is a book that everybody should read in their lifetime. We are so judgmental all the time, but I think we must stop being so judgmental to lead a better life and create a better world around us. And that, I think, was the message of To Kill a Mockingbird. In case you have some other interpretations, let me know, because this is a book that I revisit time and again to interpret it in many ways, and this book must be read by all of you. The next banned book in this list is The Color Purple by Alice Walker, which won the Pulitzer Prize too. The thing about this book is that it is a discovery of female sexuality, and that is probably the reason why it was really banned, because at the time when it was written and even now, it's a really taboo subject, right? And the same is the case with The Awakening by Kate Chopra, to which I'm gonna come a little bit later. But the thing is, this book was really great, and throughout the book I was like, I feel so bad for this girl that she has to live like others are driving her to. And then this girl, who's the protagonist of this novel, who's writing this novel in letters to the god, she meets this woman called Shug Avery who helps her discover her inner self and her inner desires. And this book is definitely a must read for badass women. The language, however, I'll say is a bit difficult to read because the grammar is not right. And I think it's perfectly fine because from the point of view of the character who's actually writing this, her language must be not proper in English. But you must definitely read this book in case you want to read something about females. Coming to The Awakening by Kate Chopra, it was another book that was about female awakening, and that's why probably the name is Awakening. It was a book that I thoroughly enjoyed. The last scene, oh my god, it was really amazing. The best part is that The Awakening is under 200 pages, so you can read it even if you're a very impatient reader. Next we come to Moll Flanders by Danielle Defoe, which I read because it was in our syllabus. But the thing is, Moll Flanders is about this woman who's continuously juggling in her life between becoming a whore and a mistress, and her life is really gaudy. And this was one of the very first novels ever written back in the 18th century, and back then women did not really have a lot of opportunities of jobs, so they either had to do prostitution or they had to do theft, and both of them are really very bad crimes. And that's how we see how women were all the time suppressed throughout the age. Moll Flanders happens to be one of the most difficult, according to me, books to read because of the language. I really took a lot of time reading it, but it was worth it. Also, fun fact, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Yes, it was banned too because of its grotesque details, and it happens to be one of my favorites. I really love Frankenstein, and I love every episode that is based on Frankenstein in any sort of serial, be it Phineas and Ferb or any other cartoon or any other movie. And I remember the Scooby-Doo one. So Frankenstein is a really interesting novel to read, but I did not get why the book was banned. I know it was a little bit grotesque at times, but it should not have been banned ever. But anyway, what can we do? It was banned, but it is a very entertaining read for kids and adults alike because I read it when I was in class 3. Yes, so it was very interesting to read. Fun fact, even Harry Potter was banned because of the witchcraft in it by several Christian organizations. And at this point, I'm like, people just need a reason to ban things, not only in India, across the world. The next book on my list is Beloved by Toni Morrison. It has a spooky element to it, but it is actually about the aftershock of being a slave. And these people, Seed and her friends, they came from a home which they called Sweet Home, but actually that was not really sweet. They were sold into slavery, but now that they have escaped it, the horrors have still not let them go. And it is probably one of the books that will make you cry when you read it because it has the realities. Because the book has realities of life for the black people who were sold in America. So these were the books that I have read in my life. But then let's come to the books that I haven't, but I really want to. The first one is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I have started reading that book many times, but I never came to finishing it because something or other came up. But I know the story, which is sort of a spoiler. But still I'm going to read it because I want to. And it's about Holden Caulfield, who wants to save people from losing their innocence. And he hears this song of Robert Burns, which is something like, if a body meet a body coming through the rye, and he hears Catcher in the Rye. And Catcher in the Rye means he's sort of standing there and stopping everybody from falling down, or rather losing innocence. And I think that's a really beautiful thought that went into the book. Another book that I really want to read, which was banned, is Animal Farm by George Orwell. It's, I know, a really thin book, but I've still not finished reading it. But I will really finish reading it soon. Also, Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie was banned by the Islamic community because it had something against Muhammad Prophet. But I think that there must be something interesting about that book too, else the book wouldn't have got such hype even after getting banned. And one more such book that has, and another book that has got a lot of fame after being banned is Lajja by Taslima Nasreen, and my mother has read that book, I guess, in Bengali, and she always tells me about it. But the sad part is we don't have the copy of the book. She also was a person who used to borrow a lot of books, so yeah, I don't have a copy of Lajja. But I want to read the original Lajja because I've heard from my teachers and professors that the version that comes out now is also very censored, and I don't really want to read the censored version of the novel. I want to read the original Lajja. That's it. And the last book that is on my TBR file for the banned book that I want to read is the last book that is on my list to read in the banned book section is Wendy Doniger's The Hindu. And the thing is, I want to read the book because I have heard that in that book she has mimicked gods and goddesses of the Hindu mythology. She literally called Shiva characterless. which if I think for a while may not seem very untrue, but just stating it like that, well, she must have some guts. And that is the reason I really want to read that book first of all the books that I mentioned. And that is the reason why I want to read her book first of all the books that I said in this video. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In case you want to suggest me some banned books, the comment section is open for you. In case you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I post every week. Until my next video. Bye bye. So gripping. And the thing is, Vladimir Nabokov at a certain point stopped writing this novel at all because even he was getting uncomfortable reading. And in case you didn't know, Vladimir Nabokov books banned, and there have been many books that have been banned over the ages. But there have been many books that have. The next book that I read was The Color Purple by Alice Walker, and this won the winner. The next banned book won the Pulitzer Prize too. The thing with this book is that it's a discovery of female sexuality, and that's why the thing about this book is that drama is not right, and it's perfectly fine because from the point of view of the characters who's writing this, it's sort of predictable, and I think it's perfectly fine because others are driving her too. But then she meets this woman who's just phenomenal, sure. And then this girl who's the protagonist of Females. Coming to the Awakening by Kate Chopra, same ground. It was again a discovery of females' inner desires, and I think that is why the reason was absolute. Coming to the Awakening by Kate. Another book that I read was Toni Morrison, who's a Nobel-winning author, her Beloved. And Beloved is also a horror story, it's sort of a horror story, but it has several gory and sexual details, and it's always about. And the thing is, the next book that I have on my list is Beloved by Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison is a Nobel. The next book that I have on my list is Beloved by Toni Morrison, and it happens to be one of the books that are really, really difficult to read in this ban. Very fun fact, even Harry Potter was banned, and that's because it has several witchcraft and wizardry. Fun fact, even Harry Potter